Any marking, allegedly?
I didn't because I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking at him. I had my flashlight out, dude.
Yes, sir.
Out the window, looking to see if there was locks on sheds or, in between houses while we drove. I wasn't paying attention to him.
Yeah, I understand that for sure.
I still don't pay attention to him.
Did CPS discuss with you everything relating to Chris's alleged reprimanding of children and his issue with his ex-wife, Nina? I mean, I've been seeing this stuff coming out.
No.
Was Seth on cam at work when he went missing? You mean Chris or Seth? Somebody said was Seth at work or on cam at work when he went missing?
Yeah, I was on 6 of them because I was actually in jail working.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here's another
Not
one.
to mention, besides that, I have 65 inmates that can tell you where I was at too.
That's a hard job for you to deal with. But what that is? What do you know? Did they show you the timestamp on that video?
Which video?
The video from your son at the restaurant. Did they show you the timestamp exactly, like the time?
I didn't see a timestamp.
Interesting. Did they even tell you what time? Did they say, "Hey, Seth, he was found. We seen him here at this time"?
One second.
Yeah, it's wild.
My Bluetooth died. Sorry about that.
No, you're absolutely fine. You're absolutely fine. I was just curious about that. If they said, "Hey, Seth, this is the time we seen him leaving at this restaurant," or it showed the timestamp on the video, because I feel like that part would be important too.
It probably would have been, but I was
happy to see him.
I was just happy to see my son.
You can think about. I do have to ask you this one. Can you share with us some memories or moments that stand out to you about your son?
I remember a time that he was young. He was changing the diaper. Katie was and I walked into the room and he literally shot shit out of his ass. Tried to hit me. Okay.
Mm-hmm. No, you're fine.
I mean, these are memories that I remember clear from 14 so years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time that I woke up and I heard him in his crib, and I'm like, okay, he's awake. Let's go ahead and make him a bottle and get it ready. And I walked into the living room and smelled at me, and I was like, oh no, this ain't good. Start walking down the hallway to get to his room, and I swing into the bathroom and turn on the shower because I know that he had dug into his diaper and started painting the wall. It was messy.
And I appreciate you sharing those moments with us. And those things are important to me. Those cherishing little moments. I feel like, if you guys want to support Seth, here's another way. I got it pinned up top to GoFundMe. This is his Cash App on the screen right now. You can support. There's plenty of ways to support Seth on his search and journey to find his son, Sebastian. This, again, is his Cash App shared from him himself. No one else. I will hold it across the screen, make it full screen. The GoFundMe is pinned in the top of the chat for his, and again, it's his sister made this GoFundMe. I've read it already. I seen it last night when it was shared on Pascal's show. It is for him. He's out here searching for his son. To the threats. Did you get threatened to be sued or anything like that for not having your sister? Because she made it, obviously, to help you. And did you get threatened to be sued by Chris or a lawyer?
Chris threatened to get an attorney if I didn't, and I quote, curb your sister or I will step on her toes.
Wow.
To each their own. We all have our own opinion.
Seth,
my sister did that because she already knew. She already knew that I wasn't going to go back to work, that I was going to try to find my son.
That's the part that bothered me.
Knows me. Oh, we've had people show up at when we were at in the parking lot by the bowling alley. We had some people show up and tell people not to donate to the refund to the reward for finding my son.
Mm-hmm.
We've had people on Facebook, don't donate to this. They're all a scam. That's fine.
That's
who you working for better be paying your bills.
Shame on them.
I believe in karma. What goes around comes around. I'm Old Testament. That's what a lot of people don't. I'm Roman Catholic. I'm Old Testament believer.
That's crazy, man.
In every profession, man.
That's a fact.
You got people that you got bad people that know how to flip a burger. You got bad people that don't know how to operate the register. You got people that don't know how to communicate with each other. And it breaks down in this world that it's all about communication. If somebody wants to just drop my son off, drop him off at a gas station that is open.
You heard him. Drop him off.
Drop him off at a Waffle House. Drop him off at a Waffle House so that he can get food. I'll pay for it when I get there.
So, can I ask you, have you had
when I walk? No, I haven't. I volunteered for a polygraph and I was not given one.
Okay. Do you know of anybody that has been given one? That's been a big question everybody's asking. I'm asking the questions, the hard ones they've asked. I bet it for Seth. Y'all heard me. I said I bet him. He was working 12 hours. He got a call in between that.
Calling a text message at about 6:20 in the morning. I'd been there since 6 p.m. because I would like to beat traffic because on 24 you never know how traffic is. I was there about 6 o'clock Monday evening at work, and then when I got the message at 7:20 Monday morning to call Chris that it was a 911, and when I called, that's when I found out my son was missing. I know that when I got to the house and I walked in, I saw the room was a mess. Blanket wasn't. I mean, his bed wasn't made, stuff like that. But police had already been in the house to search.
Talking about Sebastian and trying to figure out all this stuff, it is still really hard to hear all this information. No matter what, it angers the hell out of me. I know you're beyond that.
some of my muscle relaxers and some of my gabapentin, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. My arm still hurts, but it's tolerable.
Right.
On them.
I believe in karma. What goes around comes around.
I appreciate it. I mean,
He needs
the only thing I ask,
What about
I mean,
Sebastian?
my sister's in charge of that. I don't even look at it. I don't even have the link. I don't even have Facebook. Keep growing. Had to buy him new shoes. That's how we knew what shoes were, what he has, is because his feet had grown and his shoes were no longer fitting him. So it's one of those things like right now with your feet growing, you don't want to spend a lot of money on shoes because next month you may not be able to fit into those.
He had them for about 2 weeks. I just bought them for him. They're gray, and I bought them from Boot Barn.
By someone either from school or somewhere else to like, hey, we're doing something at night, or we're going somewhere, or we're going to meet up. Is that, you think that's in the realm of possibilities?
I find that highly unlikely because my son doesn't really have a concept of days or how to, or time in order to plan something like that.
What do you mean? Could you explain that?
Well, trying to get him to wear a watch is already hard enough. I've had him set timers on his phone so that he remembers that, hey, it's 7 o'clock at night. I need to take my medicine. I mean, he doesn't really have a concept of time except for, he's got to, when he gets woken up in the morning at his mom's, normally around 6 o'clock, he's got an hour to get up, get ready, eat his food, and be out there to catch the bus between 7:10 and 7:20. Then he goes to school. He gets out of school at 3 o'clock, and I normally call him about 3:30. But when he's here and it's a weekend or something, there's no time. 2020, he was supposed to come live with me last year.
Oh, okay.
But I gave my son another chance to straighten his behavior up and actually apply himself at school, which he is fully capable of. But and he's straightened up some, but he's still coming. He's already registered for school up here.
Oh, okay.
I want
that he wanted to be with you, so he ran away and got lost, possibly.
See, and that's what I don't think so, because he didn't leave with his phone. He didn't attempt to call me. His godparents live up in Clarksville too, and he has their phone number. He could have called them. He could have called and reached out for me, but he also knows that on the weekends that he's with his mom, I'm at work. And I'll tell you some of the places I've been, Bellevue, I've been all the way over there on that side.
I'll go check and make sure the flyers are there. But I've got people going to the same places 3 days later because all the flyers are gone.